everyone, and welcome to WhotKnot channel. And I hope that you all had a great Christmas and a happy new year, and that the new year has started off well for you. I've had a good long break, and I thought I would come to you with a video today because I got this massive bag from Mum for Christmas, and it's got a whole heap of bits and pieces in it. And this shop is on Etsy, believe Cottage Craft, and she does a few of these sorts of things, but different sizes. But I believe that this bag that Mum has got me is the deluxe. So in it, there's a bag full of, sorry about all the crinkling, but there's a bag full of laces, all different sorts of laces, some really beautiful things. It's got some vintage hankies and all sorts of bits and bobs in there. So you get a bag of that. You get a bag of mixed yarn. So it's got some really nice colours and some interesting bits and pieces in there. And you get a bag of papers. So hang on, I'll just move this out the way so I can pull the bag of papers out. And this has got all sorts of bits in it. There's doilies, there's serviettes, there's vintage papers, there's paper, wallpaper, paper from magazines, book pages, all manner of things in there. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've pulled a few bits and pieces out, and I'm going to challenge myself. I might tap back in and pull more stuff out, we'll see. But I'm going to challenge myself to do a journal using only things from that pack. It did also have some swap cards and things like that in it, so it's got a good range of bits and pieces. So, as I said, I've pulled out some of the bits and pieces that I thought that I might use for this journal. This is a book that I picked up at the Oppie, and it's just an old recipe book, and I pulled the pages out because they all had beautiful illustrations of terrace houses that I got in one of my tubs. And I wanted to show you, I have 3 tubs. So I've got these tubs that I just picked up. I think I got them from Kmart or something here in Australia. So in this tub, I've just got all, like if I find a little picture or a little tag or something that I like, this has got sort of more decorative images that I might find a home for in a journal, or I just cut out, or I get given, or I get a card or something that's got a nice little picture on it, just heaps of little pictures. So I keep that sort of thing in one tub. In this other tub, as I said, I've got 3 of these. So this is another one. And in this one, I keep mainly like book pages or neutral coloured paper. So anything that doesn't have a lot of colour to it, that I can use as a background or to enhance something. I have also done a bit of, one of my friends lent me her embossing machine. So I have embossed some of the plain book pages. So these are the pages that you might find at the front or at the back of a book. So I pulled them out. This is some avocado dyed paper that I made. It's funny how different the colour can be on the avocado dyed paper, ranging from almost a salmony pink to a pastel pink. So, and you know, I've got some handmade paper and things like that. So that's what I've got in this tub, mainly the neutrals. So I've got that to one side there. And then I have one other tub, and that's got kind of everything else. So this tub might have, like I just finished a box of tea and I liked that image, so I cut that out. Or my mum made me a Christmas card for Christmas, so I kept that. I would probably put that in a journal at some point. One of my lovely viewers sent me these beautiful postcards. So, yep, I've got them in there. I've got a pack that's got flowers and stickers and things like that. So I have these 3 tubs, and that's how I try and divide them up to keep some sort of semblance of order. So that's that. So yeah, so as I said, I've pulled out a few bits and pieces just for reference. I'll bring you in a little bit closer so that you can see now. I was panned out so that I could fit that big bag in. Maybe just a little bit back a bit. Sorry about that. This was not in the pack. This is something from my stash. So I think I will use that. So I dragged that out. So this was in the pack. I thought this is rather nice. As usual, my standard colours that I like to go for, which is basically that olivey green, pink and cream. I don't know why. Do lean towards that sort of thing. So yeah, so this is the journal, and as I said, I've got all my pages here, and I thought I would just start getting things ready. I thought I liked that picture. It kind of, I feel like that tones, oh, there's a bit of glare there, isn't there? I feel like that tones in with the colour of the cover. I think when I do the cover, this has got a very thin spine, as you can see. So what I'll probably do is remove that spine and put in a wider spine so that I can get in 2 or 3 largish, if you know my style, it's going to be chunky, signatures. So at this stage, I'm going to just start folding some of the paper that I've got, and we'll see how we go and how it all falls together. So this is a piece of stationery, and at this point, because I want the length, I'm going to fold them lengthwise. So yes, we've had a bit of a time of it. I think those that follow me on Instagram will know that we had a bit of a kerfuffle with Buddy over Christmas. He'd been diagnosed before Christmas that he had some sort of growth on his spleen, and we had organised to book him in for surgery to have it removed, which was a traumatic decision within itself. And unfortunately on Christmas Eve, the tumour ruptured and we had to race him over to emergency. They raced him into emergency surgery that afternoon. And I have to say that it was very stressful and very worrying. And the good news is that he, not only has he made a full recovery, but he is even better than he was before. He's basically bouncing off the ceiling. He's like got a new lease on life. So I know a couple of the people that follow me on Instagram and on YouTube who also have dogs that they love very much. Lost their dogs over Christmas, so it must have been a bad time for dogs over Christmas this year. Yeah, so that was all consuming. I've got this page. I don't know if I can use this. It's extremely fragile. What I might do is not use that as one of the pages, but what I might do is cut some of these images out and mount them onto something a bit more sturdy. Even another book page. I could stick that to another book page and put it in. So I'll just put that one to one side for the minute while I have a think about that one. But yeah, I hope everyone had a nice Christmas. It's all over so quick, isn't it? It just comes and goes. But today is actually my birthday. And it's a little bit later in the afternoon, so the colour is a little bit dark on the screen, but I figured I'd still have a go at getting this video done today. I've had a lovely day. My husband took me out for lunch. I've had a nice swim in the pool. We went to the lolly shop because he knows I love lollies, and he bought me some beautiful lollies, so I've been eating them this afternoon. I've just made myself a chai tea, so I'm just going to have a sip of my tea whilst I'm talking to you, because I've literally been on the phone chatting with people all afternoon. between friends, family, and making some, as you normally have to do, some regular phone calls. Been trying to organise a new agency. I had a lovely lady that used to come and help me, and unfortunately she had a serious accident and she's had to have all sorts of, she smashed her foot, and when I say smashed it, literally smashed it to smithereens. She's had surgeries, they've put pins in, she's got to go back in for more surgeries. She's a lovely lady and she's had a terrible time of it. So if you ever watch this, Leonie, I hope that you are on the mend and feeling a lot better, and we miss you here. So unfortunately, because of that, I've had to organise a new agency because the agency that Leonie worked for did not have any other staff members that could fill her position, which I'm not surprised because Leonie did such a great job. So I finally got that happening, and I've got the new lady, and her name is Tess, and she's starting tomorrow. So my husband and my son will be pretty happy about that because they have been doing all the things that the carers normally do. Carers being totally undervalued in today's society, I have to say, for the work that they do. So hopefully Tess is nice. I'm sure she will be, and that we get along great and things go well. So it's been literally probably 2 months since Leonie had her accident, and so it's been that long since I've had somebody come in and give me a hand other than my boys that are here. So at this point, as you can see, I need my ruler. Where's my ruler? I'm ripping that in the wrong spot. So, yep, a few bits and pieces going on. I think the last time I spoke to you guys, Mill and Beck were coming. Well, of course, they've been and gone, and Mill's been back again. So that was nice. Mill and I had just a week together, the two of us, sitting up till all hours watching the Great British Bake Off and chatting, and she helped me clean out a few things in my craft room, which is always a good thing to do. My husband and I just dropped off a massive box of stuff to the op shop, which is probably nothing compared to the stuff that I've brought home from the op shop. So, but let's not talk about that. And did find a new op shop recently. So a friend of mine and I went over to visit that last week, and we had a very nice time poking around in that op shop. Just going to see if I can put on another light. It's getting a little bit dark in here. Excuse me, just leaning across there. Ugh, trying to reach the control. There we go. Let's see if that makes any difference. Oh, that's a little bit better, isn't it? I think so. As I said, it's getting a bit later in the afternoon. It's 5:30 here today, but I really wanted to get this done today. Don't you love that little bit? This is a pack that I got out of the pack that I got, and it's got a little bit of the glue and stuff from where it was joined into the book, and I like that sort of thing. So I'll make sure that's hanging out. So I've been busy making some tote bags, which I made a batch around Christmas time, and my plan, I never really think people are going to buy this stuff, and then they do, and I'm always surprised. And I thought to myself, I'll just put them on Instagram and see if anybody is interested in buying them, because Etsy charge so much for their fees and charges these days that if I can sell them directly to you guys, it means that I benefit and you benefit, because I can keep the prices within a reasonable range. And I thought to myself, well, whatever doesn't sell, I will put in my Etsy shop. Well, everything's sold, and I had people contacting me for days afterwards, wanting to know where they could buy them. And I mean, it's just me, and I just make them in my own time, at my own speed. So I've been busy making another batch ready, and they should be ready in about another week or so. So I'll be putting them on my Instagram, and if there's any of those left, they'll go into my Etsy shop. But I also have some of my paintings in my Etsy shop, which are quite a few of them have sold recently too, to my amazement. And I want to thank, if you are watching, and Margaret or Angela or anybody that's purchased some of those, thank you so much for supporting my artwork, and rest assured that any money that I get from that just goes directly back into this craft room one way or another. So yeah, I do like a bit of crafting, and I think I'm hoping to get this done and up tomorrow, so you might get to know in time. But a friend of mine and I are going to do my New Year's resolution needs to be to just stop saying gonna. Oh, I annoy myself sometimes. We are going to do an Instagram... I said it again, for heaven's sakes. We are going to do an Instagram live on Friday at 2 o'clock, which is Queensland time. I believe that's 3 o'clock in Melbourne. So if you want to join us for that, feel free. Hopefully I get this video up in time for that to be of any value to anybody. So as you can see, I'm really just folding at this point. And I think I'll probably aim, I reckon I'll aim for about 2 to 3 signatures. Probably 3 actually. Look at this piece, isn't that lovely? Look at that, those numbers. It's really beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hold it up a bit closer, see if I can get that in focus. I don't know. I'm not so good at this focus business these days. So I think it's better if I hold it about there. Maybe this whole video is going to be blurry. Did have that happen the other day. I did a video for my Instagram, and when I watched it back it was blurry, so I retaped it, it was a painting, repainted the whole thing and everything again, watched it back, it was blurry again. Oh my lord, it was doing my head in. Then I had my son take a look at it, and I'd had something, pressed something, touched something, done something wrong somewhere along the line. So I don't want to tear this, so I'm going to fold that up for a large half pocket page. That'll be nice. And then I'll fold it in half this way. Hopefully it won't be too wide. Let me see. Nope, that'll be perfect. They had a good range of paper in that pack, I have to say. I felt like some of those pages were really, really good. I like that with the holes in it. I'll keep those holes in. So my process on doing a journal is I like to get all the pages ready, but I don't sew them in until after I've virtually finished, you know, creating all the pages the way I want them to be, because I like to sew them, I like to stick things on them, I like to move them all around until I think that they've found their perfect home. So look at that beautiful picture. I just love that picture as well. I don't know. That's the Gardens of Giovanni, which is interesting because I've actually knit a shawl. Also, the pattern was called the Gardens of, I hope I'm saying it right, I'll say Giovanni. Giovanni. Giverny. So yeah, that's an interesting little thing. And there's Stonehenge on the back. This came from American Artist, this magazine. So I want to get that picture in. So I think what I'll do is I'll fold it on that line there. But yes, I'm looking forward to having a pretty creative year this year. as I said, I've been making the bags, but I'm not going to be making the bags like crazy. I'll do them periodically because I don't want them to take up all my time and then I lose momentum on my other craft projects. So when I make them, if you want one and you're on Instagram, just follow me and you'll see when I put them up. But if you miss out, don't stress. I'll probably make another batch in a couple of weeks in between, because I have signed up for the Skillshare again this year, and it hasn't happened yet, but my goal is to do at least one class a week, because there's some really, really talented people on Skillshare, and I've really enjoyed doing the classes in the past, and I've actually met some really fantastic artists that I now follow in Instagram, and they follow me and we have a bit of a chat, and yeah, it's a really great community, and I really enjoy that. But as you guys know, I'm into all sorts of crafts. I don't like to restrict myself to any one thing. Otherwise, I feel like I become a bit stale and unmotivated to continue doing whatever it was. So I've got 2 jumpers on the go that I'm knitting at the minute. Julia, who is 9crafty11 on Instagram, and myself, we plan on doing a knit along in February. So we're just chatting about that, and that's what we are going to be talking about on the Instagram live on Friday. So yeah, these 2 distinguished gentlemen. I don't want to fold them. I want to make sure I get as many of these pictures in as I can, because there's really nice pictures on this. I'll fold those ones in. Hopefully it's not too wide for the book. Let me see. I might have to fold that in just a little bit as well. I won't fold it in just yet because it might be okay. Probably help if I put that in screen so you could see what I was actually doing. So yeah, that's the width, but I will be putting the spine on it and everything, so that'll bring it in just a little bit further. So that's that. As you can see, I haven't been stingy on the pages that I've pulled out. I've got lots and lots. So yeah, and as you saw, like from the pack that I just showed you, there's still a lot of paper in there that I could use. Look at this picture. Isn't that lovely? I thought that would be nice as a centre page in one of the signatures. I might have to take a little bit of that off the edge for it not to stick out. There's a nice picture on the back as well, but I think that I'm going to go with this picture because I feel like the colours lend itself more to what I'm going to be leaning towards. So let's have a look. I'm just trying to gauge this. Rusty's under the desk. He's just pushing out because he's just heard my husband come in, so he wants to go and make sure he's not missing out on anything. My son went down the street and he's just come home. Now the dogs are getting excited because he's home. That's what they're barking at. Let me just see how this is going to, how much I need to lose. So I think it's not going to distort the picture very much if I take probably, where's my ruler? I think I'm going to have to rip a little bit off the edge of this. It's amazing how much difference daylight and artificial light make to doing these things. I really feel like the image on my screen, because I actually have the picture that I'm filming, I've got it set up so that I can see the image on my iPad to make sure I glance up every so often and make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm looking at the colours on that and I'm not really happy with the colour. But that's what happens when you are not filming in perfect daylight. And I have a nice big window at the front of me here, as I've told you guys before. But yeah, as I say, getting on towards tea time or dinner time or whatever you like to call it. So the light is going. All right, I think if I do it like that, I didn't lose much of the picture and I'll still have that much. I can make that into a side tuck there, so that'll be a good one. And I'll just put that to one side. I've got a few more pages here, and then we'll have a look at putting them into a signature. Aren't these fun? These are from a catalogue, vintage catalogue. I think they're obviously reprints, but they're nice. I had to go through them because I picked out a page, and when I actually looked at it, had guns all over it, and I thought, oh, I don't want to put guns in my journal, so I ditched that one. But I'll just fold that in half, give us a little page, and that's got violins on it, much nicer than guns. And this one's got books that used to be for sale. I mean, those catalogues were just like buying stuff on the internet, I suppose, for us now. Go through the catalogue, pick something out, buy it, and it turns up in the mail. Poor butterfly. That's a bit sad. But we'll use that. I like a bit of music page in the journal. So we'll put that one in. These long journals are good because a lot of these pages, if you're putting them in a standard journal, you've got to fold them the wrong way. But when you put them in the long journal, you can fold them and still have everything in the right direction. So it's good from that point of view. This is a nice page because it's got some good aging on it. Paint miscellaneous cancelled. Dutch boy white lead. Now, there must be mixers to mix up paints. And it's got the bits from out of the book. And here's a really, really long journal page, which I think that'll probably end up being a bit of a flip out. So I will do that. Fold that about there because I don't want to lose that number at the top of the page. And I'll put that like so. And fold that back so that we can still see the number, but it still fits into the book. So I think that's going to go to about there. And I had somebody ask me recently, and I think I'll do a video on it, although there's probably 100,000 million videos on it. But this is a journal that I finished over Christmas, and this was my art journal. Just see if I can turn this light up a little bit. It's getting darker and darker, isn't it? How's that? That's a bit better. So this is my art journal that I made over Christmas, and I was showing it to somebody, and they asked me if I could do a video on how I make my tassels and dingly danglies for the edge of the book and how I attach them and everything. So I will do a video on that at some point. But yeah, I should do a flip through on this bad boy. This was a lot of fun. And it's got a lot of stuff in it. So this is what my journals tend to look like when they're finished. Full to the brim. Although, I say full to the brim, and they are full to the brim, but there's still plenty of room, plenty of journaling space in them. So I do sell these journals once I'm finished. I normally, as I said, advertise them on Instagram. If they don't sell on Instagram, I put them in my Etsy store. So far, I think only one of them has made it to my Etsy store. And even then, it's sold pretty much straight away. So, look, what can I say? People like the journals. Like the journals. Why wouldn't you? It's so great. So much fun. I've just ripped that page. Good job. Good job, lady. I'm just going to have another drink of my... I feel so thirsty. I should be drinking water. But I'm drinking chai latte, which Mill bought for me when she was here. What's this from? I'm just looking at this. This looks like, it says a Fiat Coupe, a Fiat station wagon, and they're the prices. But I don't know what year that is because that's not what price they are these days. Let's see, 1955. So it's a car purchase invoice from 1955. Okay, so apparently I'm so out of practice with filming videos that I didn't realise that the video had gone off. So you missed me folding up a couple of these signatures, and you also missed some highly riveting conversation. Probably not. But it is the next day. I waited overnight the next day, so I've got a bit better light now. But I have completed I've decided to go with 3 signatures because I am planning on doing some flip outs on these. So I've got these 3 signatures. I've put 10 pages in each signature, and I've folded and trimmed the tops off and everything a little bit. So now they all sit quite nicely together. And once I take the spine out of this and make it a bit wider, and I'll come back and do a video and show you how I do that. These will all fit in here pretty nicely, I think. So I will go off now and prep some of these, do some sewing, some lace and things like that, and start them going, and I'll come back and show you where I'm up to with those. And in the next video, we'll do this together, where we'll take this spine out and we will make this book wide enough to accommodate these signatures. And I'll probably make it a bit wider than I think, because it'll bulk up quite a bit, and that gives me plenty of room. So there we go, got there in the end. I actually, when I looked up and I saw the video wasn't playing, I thought that I had forgotten to press the play button completely and that I'd been waffling on for nearly 45 minutes telling you all the things in life. But anyway, yeah, so that's where I am. So I'll look forward to catching up with you guys soon, and stay happy and stay healthy, and come and visit me on Instagram Live on Friday at 2 p.m. Brisbane time, which is AEST. So I was going to try and work out what all the different times were for everybody, but I figure you guys can just Google that and see what the time will be in your area. So yeah, all right. Have a great afternoon, and I will chat with you guys again soon. Bye.